man, these alleys are the worst part about building decks in the city. Oh, think skinny, think skinny, think skinny, think skinny. What's up everybody, Mark here from Remarkable Woodworks, and in this week's episode I got to do a simple deck fix on a project that we did earlier this summer. I also pinched a nerve in my lower back yesterday, so odds are this episode's probably going to be painful to get through for the both of us. Probably the number one question I get asked the most is, how did I get here? And I don't mean like here in Toronto. I mean working with Dave and Joey, Scott McGilvery, people like that. And for a long time, my answer was simple. It was just luck, right place, right time. And it wasn't until recently where a friend told me that luck only happens to people that are willing to put themselves in a position to get lucky. Did I really just say get lucky? I don't mean that kind of lucky. I'll explain. So not a lot of people know this about me, but I didn't touch a power tool until I was 27. And I'm 33 now. So if you carry the two, what's that? 6 years? Math is hard. That's not a lot of time to be considered an expert. Now over those last 6 years, I have worked my ass off and become obsessed with all things carpentry. And basically what that's given me is an opportunity to just get my face or in my work in front of more people. And that's exactly what I wanted to do for other contractors when I started working with MicroPro Sienna, was create an online space for contractors to go promote their work without having to spend hours on these social media platforms. One of the things I love most about social media is just that, the social aspect. I'm able to pull motivation and connect with people all over the world that I would never be able to do if it weren't for these platforms like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc. One of the problems is, though, people often associate the number of followers or subscribers that you have with the amount of skill that you have, and that's just not necessarily the case in real life. Some of the most talented carpenters that I know could give two about social media. Either they don't have time, they don't believe in it, or they just don't care enough. So I was able to work with MicroPro Sienna and create a microsite called Contractors from Coast to Coast. And what that does, it allows Canadian carpenters, deck builders especially, to be able to post their images online and have an online business card, if you will. Contractors from Coast to Coast is a place where you can make recommendations based off of those contractors that you know that might not necessarily want to spend the time on their Facebook page or YouTube or Instagram page. This is just a spot where you're able to make your recommendations based off of skill and craftsmanship and not necessarily views and likes. So if you have a deck builder that you know of that you want to recommend, I'm going to leave a link below on how they can get set up on Contractors from Coast to Coast, and then you can just take that link, share it with all your friends and family, and you're able to help them out. I get the bragging rights of coming up with a great idea, and we all win. So the reason why we're here today is because there's a leak in the basement, which started happening after we left. So obviously we wanted to come back, take care of it. We've blue skinned everything, taken care of that. So now I just have to throw in the deck boards that are missing, and then this job will be officially finished. Okay, so here's where we're at. We had the STRAWHAT guys come in. They blue skinned everything, so it is watertight. No water's gonna get in there. Now my job is to put some deck boards back on here. However, because of all the things that are going on, we're kind of limited to what we can use. So if you see, these guys have this little groove in here, which is held together by this clip. And these guys are meant to be on the perimeter of a deck, so there's no groove in here. And so what I have to do is screw this board down to these joists.
Oh wait, so were you taking these guys out too then? These
No.
Right, you have all the grooves.
Yeah, so what we did was there was a piece of, like we were able to use the scrap pieces.
Yes, that's right.
So we're going to have one seam kind of right here where this piece of blocking is. And then that blocking will help stabilize where those seams are, and we'll be able to screw down into both boards. So it'll look like this never happened.
Never.
Never ever?
Keep dancing with the devil, but he doesn't have a back.
So I managed to salvage enough of the old deck boards that still had the groove in it, and that's gonna give me my second row. So I don't have to take the clips out of this board that is scribed and runs along with the house. So the only board that's not going to have any clips in it is this one. So that's what the board looks like. And the trick is, on the face of it, I have to make sure that when I'm screwing down through the top here, I have to hit this meatier part of the board. Otherwise, if I get the thin part here where water travels, then I'm just gonna blow through with my screw. So I only have this little bit of material here to hit with the screw. And to secure it, I'm gonna use special screws that's just gonna be face screwed, and then I'm going to cap them with plugs. Now that that's done, it's time to pack up and I'll give you the tour. So this right here is my favorite part about this entire space, is this wooden feature wall with the sliding barn door. We did everything with micropro sienna lumber. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and check out my latest video. Basically, it's pressure treated lumber that's brown instead of green, so it actually looks like wood. We built everything with the sienna lumber and then faced everything with the composite deck boards there. But what I love about this is that it slides in. It's got this custom track that has a hole in it for drainage. So when I slide this open, it doesn't wobble. It has the stop there. And it also has this cavity here. So the door can sleeve inside there. Now the craziest thing about this space is that this is one of our in-a-day projects. So we built this entire space in one day. It took a ton of prep work and a village of people to pull off, but we pulled it off. So the main reason why I was here was I had to reroute this downspout. Originally it was over here and it just came to right about there. The roots of the trees were preventing the water to move back. So we rerouted the downspout here, attached a big O to it. It now runs all the way underneath the deck like it's supposed to and shoots out onto the driveway, which is back there. So now this is cut into one deck board instead of two over here. And then you've got your nice clean lines and there's no more holes there. Now all the homeowner has to do is just paint up those little spots there and she's done. And that, my friends, is all that my back is going to allow me to do for this week's episode. So if you like this video, please do all the things that you're supposed to do when that happens. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I love you all equally, and I'll see you when I see you.